Okay, so if you've ever walked into one of those supplement shops, right, and you're just hit with this wall of creatine tubs, you see monohydrate, HCl, alkaline, nitrates. It feels like a creatine jungle out there. Trust me, you are definitely not alone if you feel
Yeah.
completely lost. It's a lot. It can leave you wondering, what do I actually need? How do I cut through all that noise? We want you to get the gains, but without all the guesswork. So today, that's our mission. We're going to break these different types down. Fast, simple, help you figure it out. Okay, let's unpack this. All right, first up, the big one. The undisputed champion, really. Creatine monohydrate. This is the OG, the kind of the gold standard, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It really is the king. And not just because it's, well, cheap and it works. It's got literally hundreds of studies behind it. Robust studies proving its impact.
Solid science.
Exactly. And for most people, it's simple. Just 3 to 5 grams a day. That's usually the sweet spot.
Okay.
Now, you do hear about water retention sometimes. People worry about that.
The bloating thing.
Yeah, but here's the key thing people miss. That water is held inside your muscle cells. It's called cellular volumization. It's not the uncomfortable gut bloat you might be thinking of.
Oh, okay. So it's actually in the muscle itself.
Precisely.
Mm.
And many experts think this swelling is actually a good thing. An anabolic signal helps trigger growth. So yeah, the proof for monohydrate goes way beyond just strength. It impacts lean mass, power output, even shown some cognitive boosts.
Wow.
It really is the benchmark, the best place to start for almost everyone.
Okay, so monohydrate is the proven baseline. But, not everyone reacts the same way to supplements. What about those folks who maybe do get a bit of stomach upset from it? Here's where it gets really interesting. What are the alternatives? That brings us to creatine HCl, right?
That's the one. Creatine HCl is often positioned specifically for people with sensitive stomachs.
Why is that? What makes it different?
Well, the main difference is its solubility.
Yeah.
It dissolves much, much better, especially in stomach acid. So the idea is more gets absorbed quickly and less is just sitting there potentially drawing water into your gut, which is what can cause that discomfort, the bloating or gas.
Makes sense.
And because it dissolves and potentially absorbs better, you usually need a smaller dose. We're talking maybe 1 to 2 grams a day instead of 3 to 5.
Big difference.
Yeah, so it's generally gentler on digestion. If regular monohydrate makes you feel, a bit off, HCl could definitely be the fix you're looking for.
Gotcha. So monohydrate the king, HCl for sensitive stomachs. What about crealkaline? That one had a lot of hype around it. I remember seeing ads claiming it was like pH stable, no bloating, didn't need a loading phase. Sounded amazing.
It did sound amazing, didn't it? The marketing was certainly strong. What's fascinating here is, well, when you look at the actual science versus the claims.
No.
Well, the whole pH stable thing sounds very technical, right? But your body's pretty good at handling creatine anyway, buffers things naturally. Despite all those claims, no bloating, better absorption, there's just no strong, independent scientific evidence showing it's actually superior to plain old monohydrate.
Really? So the hype was just hype?
Largely, yes. The research specifically comparing it head-to-head with monohydrate is pretty limited, and what exists doesn't really show an advantage in terms of muscle building or performance. Now, that doesn't mean it's useless. It's still creatine. It's an option if you're curious and want to try something different. Maybe you personally feel better on it. But yeah, don't expect miracles compared to monohydrate based on the current evidence.
Okay, good to know. Manage expectations. Now, there was another one that came out with a bang, but sort of fizzled out, wasn't there? Creatine ethyl ester, CEE. I remember that one. It felt like it was poised to be the next big thing.
Ah, yes, CEE. Unfortunately, that one ran into a fundamental problem, stability, or rather instability.
Yes.
The issue is that the ethyl ester bond, which was supposed to enhance absorption, actually gets broken down very quickly in the stomach's acidic environment. It rapidly converts into creatinine, which is basically an inactive waste product, before it even gets a good chance to be absorbed by your muscles.
Oh, so it kind of defeats the purpose then.
Exactly. It ends up being significantly less effective. You're getting less active creatine delivered, so it's really just less bang for your buck.
Right.
Honestly, based on the science, the advice is pretty clear on CEE. Just skip it. There are much better, more reliable options.
Okay, message received. Skip CEE. Now, what about people chasing that pump? That feeling of fullness in the muscles during a workout? I've seen creatine nitrate mentioned for that.
Yeah, creatine nitrate is an interesting one. It combines creatine with a nitrate group.
And the nitrate part is key.
That's the theory. Nitrates can convert to nitric oxide in the body, which acts as a vasodilator, meaning it can help relax and widen blood vessels.
Mm.
This could potentially boost blood flow to the working muscles.
Ah, hence the pump.
Precisely. Some users report feeling a more pronounced pump when using it. So the idea is you get the strength benefits of creatine plus this potential blood flow enhancement from the nitrate.
Is the research solid on this one?
It's emerging, definitely not as extensive as monohydrate. Some studies show promise, others are less conclusive. Research is still a bit limited. But look, if that pump feeling is something you really value alongside strength gains, it's certainly an option out there, that pump and strength combo, as you said.
Interesting. Are there any other, maybe less obvious effects from that nitrate bond that researchers are looking into, like beyond just the pump?
That's a really good question. Nitrates themselves are involved in a few other things, physiologically speaking, like mitochondrial efficiency, how well your cells produce energy, and maybe oxygen use. So yes, researchers are definitely exploring if there are broader benefits. Could it help with endurance? Maybe, things like that. But for now, the most talked about effect, and the one sort of most associated with creatine nitrate specifically, is still that potential boost in blood flow during your workout.
Got it. Okay, so let's circle back. We started with monohydrate. But sometimes, even if it doesn't upset your stomach, people just don't like the texture. It can be a bit gritty.
Right, that's a common complaint. And that's where micronized creatine monohydrate comes in.
So what's the deal there? Is it chemically different?
Nope. Chemically, it's exactly the same as regular creatine monohydrate. The difference is purely physical. Micronized just means the powder particles have been milled down to be much, much smaller.
Yeah.
Think finer powder, like flour versus sand.
And the benefit of smaller particles is?
Mixability, mainly. It dissolves much more easily in water or your shake. You get less of that gritty texture, less sediment sitting at the bottom of your cup.
Ah, I can see the appeal there.
Yeah. And because it dissolves better, some people find it might be a little easier on the stomach too. Possibly because it absorbs a bit quicker due to that increased surface area. So basically, if you love the results of monohydrate, you trust the science, but you just hate drinking it. Micronized is your answer.
It's like a slight quality of life upgrade for your creatine.
Exactly. It might cost a tiny bit more, but for some, that improved experience is worth it. It solves that texture issue.
Okay, wow. We've covered a lot of ground here, navigating this whole creatine jungle. So what does this all mean? When you're actually standing there in the aisle or scrolling online, how do you pull all this together and make a choice?
Look, honestly, 9 times out of 10, probably even more, you just can't beat standard creatine monohydrate.
Yeah.
It's affordable, it's incredibly effective, and the sheer volume of research backing it up is just unparalleled. It's the most proven sports supplement, period. Start there.
The default choice, basically.
Pretty much. But like we said, if you're stomach sensitive, if you get bloating or discomfort from regular monohydrate, then yeah, absolutely. Give creatine HCl a shot or try the micronized monohydrate.
Because they address those specific issues.
Exactly. They offer potential solutions for digestibility or mixability. My main advice, though, don't get suckered in by fancy marketing terms or super high prices promising the world. Unless you genuinely understand why a specific form might benefit you or you just really want to experiment, stick with the basics.
Solid advice. Don't fall for the hype.
Right. And the most important thing to remember, regardless of the form you pick, creatine works. It really does. But it works best when you work. Pick your form, yes, but then be consistent with taking it, and crucially, keep training hard and eating right.
The supplement supports the work.
Couldn't have said it better. Consistency in your training and nutrition, that's always going to be your most powerful tool for results.
That really brings it all together. So whether you stick with the classic monohydrate or maybe try HCl for sensitivity or micronized for texture, understanding these differences means you can make a smart choice. A choice based on your needs, your goals, your body, not just guesswork or marketing. It's empowering.
Absolutely. And maybe one final thought to leave you with. Thinking beyond just digestion or cost for a second. Are there specific performance goals you have? Maybe a particular phase of training, like you're really pushing endurance or power. Could that justify exploring a different form, even one with less research, just to see? And maybe more importantly, how can you keep developing that critical eye? How do you evaluate the next new supplement claim that comes along, remembering that supplements are just that supplemental to your own consistent effort, something to chew on as you continue your fitness journey